welcome back to social science online classes. Okay, so last class we discussed about the Nazism. Fascism and Nazism, the two important dictators' administration. It gave a benefit to their nations, but it gave some problems to the world countries. So that we saw. And in continuation, the war between the two world wars, anti-colonial movements. So the movement, it started all over the India, especially this is the beginning of the time. The movement started in Indochina, called as a French Indochina. Why it called as a French Indochina? The French occupation in Indochina. So in that time, in 1887, the French domination in Indochina. So what is Indochina? Like nowadays it called as Cambodia and Laos and Vietnam. And these places nowadays we called, but together we called as Indochina at that time. Okay, so this French occupation in Indochina, so Indochina against the colonial power. So which is the colonial arena? French. So against the colonial power, they started a movement, it called as a anti-colonial movements. So now for example, take it as India. India's anti-colonial movement against whom? So which country dominating India against that country? For example, it's a British. So Indian colonial movement against the British. So likewise, everything we are going to see in this topic. First we'll see about the French Indochina. Okay, in earlier days you can see the French occupation in Indochina. So they forced to follow some rules and regulations. Especially they need to follow their culture, which means Indo-Chinese people need to follow the French culture and they need to use only the French language. So it's using a French language or following a French culture, this is very difficult for the Indo-Chinese people because they adopted their own language and own culture. Okay, so this is the situation, they against the France. Okay, initially you can see in the earlier of starting of the First World War time, nearly 1 lakh the people of Indochina, they supported the France, the side of the France they fought in the First World War. Okay, after that they returned with some new ideas because till that they are in the empty minds, they don't have any idea how to get the freedom or something. Because after that you can see in the First World War time they participated the war. Okay, so they knew some ideas about how to get some rights from the enemies or what is it? They are problematic persons like dominators. Okay, these ideas they gained. So after that you see with using the ideas they are ready to oppose the colonial powers. So that's why in the year of 1916 they started a revolutionary movement. Revolutionary movement means the people, native people against the dominator, against the colonial power. So which means the Indochina against the France. So likewise, initially it started, but in 1916 revolution was crushed by the colonial powers. So it's not a successful one, and it's followed by many revolutionary movements started. Especially headed by some important persons. The notable person is Ho Chi Minh, called as a Ho Chi Minh. So he is one of the greatest political leader of the Indochina, and under by the leadership of Ho Chi Minh, the plenty of the rights they gained by the Indo-Chinese people, especially the Vietnamese. So starting of the Viet Minh party or else the Vietnam party, the responsible person, that is Ho Chi Minh. That we'll see now. See the emergence of Viet Minh. The emergence of Viet Minh, especially you see the mainstream of the emergence of Viet Minh is that is Vietnam Nationalist Party. So this Vietnam Nationalist Party is a responsible party to gain the independence from the colonial power. So it started in the year of 1927. The year of 1927. You see, most of the people supported the Vietnam Nationalist Party because the ideas and everything it's attracted by the people. You see, normally there is a huge level of middle class people. The middle class people support fully for the Vietnam Nationalist Party. So it coordinates most number of people in the Vietnam. Okay. So what happened later? The Viet Minh, the Vietnam Nationalist soldiers, their soldiers, it become mutinies. So they are starting the revolution against the French government. Can you understand? Who called as a rebel? They called as a rebels. Those who participate in the revolt, the person called as a rebels. Okay, so likewise, the revolution it's based on the mutinies, which means the soldiers. Okay, but unfortunately, the mutiny was crushed by the British quickly. Okay, in the year of 1929. The revolution was crushed by the British. So at the time you can see the most number of people, the mutinies and the revolutionaries were killed. Okay, so the group of mutinies were killed. So in the history it is known as the White Terror. Okay, so it called as a White Terror because the white people dominated the native Indo-Chinese people and they killed the number of the group of people in a place. So that's why it called as a White Terror. So this situation is not good for the the Ho Chi Minh being in the party. So what he did in the year of 1930, he escaped. Not escaped, he went to Moscow. What for he went to Moscow? So normally Moscow and China. He went to Moscow and China because you see Russia and China both are very communist country. And the Viet Minh party, that's Vietnam Nationalist Party, it was related to the Communist Party. Okay, that's why he went to Moscow and China, and for a longer year of time, he learned the communist ideas. So when he returned to in the Vietnam or Indo-China, that's in the time of 1940s. In the 1940s time, that's the huge number of support, and the people of Indo-China, they opposed the French government. And most importantly, in the year of 1940, the Second World War time. Beginning of Second World War time, Germany, initially they defeated the French. Okay, so 1940s time, the French lost the war against the Germany. So that's the situation. It's good, and the situation is favorable for the Ho Chi Minh to start a party in a strong manner in Indochina. That's why in 1940s the Ho Chi Minh arrived. The Ho Chi Minh arrived to Indochina and started a party called as Viet Minh. Okay, so in the Viet Minh party only, the responsible party to get the independence from the colonial power, that is Indochina, they relieved from the colonial power of French. Okay, so the responsible person to start the Viet Minh party, that is Ho Chi Minh. So Ho Chi Minh is an important leader for the independence of Indochina. Okay, students. Okay, so this is about the anti-colonial movements in French Indochina. So not only French Indochina, even we have a lot of anti-colonial movements. Okay, especially in the Second World War time, and after the Second World War, you can see the plenty of anti-colonial movements. Even India also got independent in end of the after the Second World War, because we started our revolt or revolution in earlier itself. Even the First World War time itself we started, but actually our movement and everything, it got boosted in during the Second World War time, and after the Second World War we also got the independence from the colonial power. So tomorrow we'll move to the Indian anti-colonial movement. Thank you.